Welcome back to KC Cares, Kansas City's window on the nonprofit community and the people we serve. The independent calendar. Oh, sorry. I'm ahead of schedule. Lori. The people that we serve. I'm Laurie Ingram.
And I'm
a little bit lost.
We're going to get it done. It's that time of year. But before we get it done, we have another great guest, and that is Meredith Suarez. She is with Junior Achievement of Greater Kansas City. Yay!
Yay!
Welcome, welcome.
Thank you. I'm delighted to be here.
We've been wanting to have you on for quite some time. I think Junior Achievement is a very, very exciting organization. Tell our listeners a little bit, if they're not familiar with your organization, what you all are about.
Sure. Well, Junior Achievement was founded nationally in 1919, and we started here in Kansas City in 1955. And we are a provider of youth education in the areas of financial literacy, career readiness, and entrepreneurship. We provide programs for students in grades kindergarten through 12. And basically what we do is we teach students how careers, money, and business ownership work through the help of our very dedicated volunteers who deliver our programs.
Wow, that's a lot to do.
It is a lot to do.
But she knew it, man.
And we have a staff of 9, so we're a small but mighty team.
Wow. So how do you go about getting out there and connecting with kids to help them understand some pretty big subjects?
Sure. Well, there's a lot of challenges facing young people today. And we really rely upon our corporations, local corporations, and our volunteers to go into the classrooms and really share their personal and professional experiences with students. Many times students haven't had an opportunity to learn about a career that they may have not heard about because that volunteer represents something different or somebody different to them. Everybody knows about careers like being a teacher, being a police officer, a firefighter, but in many cases, our volunteers offer a different experience for students. So we really try to get out into the community and encourage our volunteers to share their stories.
I'm looking on your volunteer page. Tell us a little bit about what you need and who's the perfect volunteer.
Wow, what a platform. So we couldn't do what we do every day without the help of our volunteers. They are the ones that are going in there, going into the classroom, serving as exemplary role models, classroom mentors, and they're doing it in a fun way. There's always a game or an activity associated with our lessons, so the kids get to really have hands-on learning opportunity and learn by doing. So if people are interested in getting involved, they can go to our website, which is jagkc.org, and click on that green button that says volunteer registration.
I'm looking at it right now. It's very big. You can't miss it.
And it'll take you to a separate website, but they can learn all about the different volunteer opportunities that we have available. We have many opportunities for volunteers to engage with us starting in January all the way through the second semester, which ends in May. We also run summer programs as well in June and July.
Do you have a target audience? By that I mean, is there an area of the city? Are there school districts that are on the top of your hit list? Kansas City's big.
Sure.
There's a lot of kids in a lot of schools. So how do you start out?
So who's the perfect volunteer, right? The perfect
volunteer, and then how do you choose where you all are going to try to put the emphasis in terms of student population you're going to try to reach?
Sure. Well, about 70% of the students we serve are in the urban core. So we work with a lot of corporations that are downtown to supply volunteers. We have a variety of different ways to volunteer as well. So we have some programs that are weekly lessons for 5 to 6 weeks at a time. We also have some programs that are delivered in one school day or in 2 school days back to back. So we really are targeted right in the immediate metro area, but we also have programs out in the Blue Valley School District, Shawnee Mission, North Kansas City, Independence. We're really all over the metro area.
And how long have you been with the organization?
3.5 years.
Do you have a sense of how it's changed since 1955 when it started here in Kansas City in terms of growth areas, or how maybe it may have reinvented itself? The 50s were a whole lot different than the 2016s.
Sure.
How do we say that correctly? I'm not sure, but...
The 20 teens, I guess.
The 20 teens.
Well, we started out as offering the JA Company program, which many people who, if you grew up in Kansas City and went to school in the Kansas City public schools, you're probably familiar with the JA Company program. And that was a program for high school students that met after school, and it taught students how to take a product from its idea phase all the way through to research and development and then marketing and then sale to the public. And the students actually did sell the products that they made. And today we're offering programs for students as young as age 5, teaching them about coins and the value of the coins all the way up through high school students and everything in between. So the program has really grown, and it wasn't until the mid-'70s actually that they started adding more programs at the middle school and elementary school level.
Do you know what drove that? Why the look to add on, or was it just seeing an opportunity?
I think it was seeing an opportunity and also recognizing that by the time students get to high school, it's too late to start teaching them about preparing for a career or understanding wants versus needs, understanding how to make a budget, creating a personal budget and using credit responsibly. High school is too late. It has to start at a younger age so that they grow up learning with a progression of opportunities to learn about how to prepare for a successful future.
Now, are any of the programs still that take an idea, create the product, and take it to fruition, or has that changed?
We actually do not run the company program in Kansas City currently. There are other JA markets across the country that do. We have some elementary school programs, though, that are that same concept where students are learning about, at a very fundamental level, how to take an idea and turn it into a business, how to take a product and understand how to market it, understand how the economy functions, and how you can make a profit off of a sale of a good or a service.
These were entrepreneurs before the whole flurry over entrepreneurship.
Sure.
From the very beginning. I was looking also, tell us a little bit about your Champions Council. That's an interesting part of your organization.
Our JA Champions Council is a group of young professionals in the community that we have gotten together. They're not a board. It's kind of more of like a committee. And they function to help us identify areas of the metro area that are in need of our programs and help us to build relationships with schools and people in communities where we might, that might be an untapped area of service for us.
And is this a council that's been in existence for a while, or is this something
It's relatively new. They've been in existence for about a year and a half.
And how have you found them to be? Have they been able to identify some things that are helping your reach?
Absolutely. They were actually instrumental in determining that we needed to use technology more effectively to recruit volunteers, and told us that we should investigate a website or a place that we could have volunteers apply to serve in the classroom. And that led us to a $75,000 grant that we received to implement our new volunteer website, which they can go to on that green button on our website.
Wow.
So that was definitely the idea of the Champions Council.
And you've had some heavy hitters. I see our friend Danny O'Neill recently spoke to some students. So
He did. That was a new program for us this year, too. In November, we started JA Launch Lesson as a part of Global Entrepreneurship Week, which was kind of morphed into Global Entrepreneurship Month.
True.
And it was an opportunity for students to get one-on-one time with a real entrepreneur. And with Danny O'Neill, he was nice enough to have students come to the roastery, and he talked with them about how he got started and the good, the bad, and the ugly associated with being an entrepreneur. And then the students got a tour of the facility and got to ask him questions about his business.
Oh,
it was great.
How exciting. And then I see you had also a program with UMKC. Can you share a little bit about that?
Sure.
During November?
We've done 2 programs with UMKC. The one in November was with Tomahawk Elementary, and students who are in 6th grade got to participate in our blended learning program, which is one of the lessons where we're combining technology as well as the more traditional kind of paper and pencil program delivery. And they got to learn about career exploration and using every student had a tablet and
Where's Tomahawk Elementary? Is
it's
that the
in
one
Overland Park.
Is that the one at like 79th and Lamar?
Near downtown Overland
that
Park.
That sounds familiar,
yeah.
So it was a full day of programming for them, and then employees from UMKC served as the volunteers and delivered the program and walked them through.
It's a great way for them to look up.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely.
And it got them onto a college campus, too, at a young age. So getting back to starting young,
that's
sixth
good.
graders getting onto a college campus.
If you wait until they're juniors in high school, it's too late.
Yeah, it's too late.
Absolutely.
One wish for the end of 2016 for junior achievement, anything or any big news to share for 2017?
A wish that we would have is that we would love more volunteers to serve in our classrooms. The need and the desire for our programs is great, but sometimes finding the volunteers to go into the classrooms is a little bit more challenging. So my wish would be that we could invite as many volunteers who have an interest in serving youth or in education to go to our website and get involved.
And that website is?
And that website is jagkc.org.
So jagkc.org. 2017, you folks out in business and other fields, take a few minutes, go and check it out, see if that's your volunteer niche.
Change a kid's life.
Change a kid's life, and they could sure use it. Thanks so much for coming on Casey Cares.
Thank you so much for inviting me. It was a pleasure.